Voilà, c'est magique.
Comment tu fais pour avoir ce truc là?
Je sais plus c'est quelle touche. Parce que moi je sais que je l'ai changé. Donc je pourrais pas te dire. Moi j'ai
Moi
mis.
j'avais un truc comme ça et c'était CTRL G, ça je trouve plus.
Ouais, c'était quelque chose. Ouais, essaye CTRL G. Moi je sais que je l'ai changé, que j'ai mis un truc. Ou Alt G. Mais je peux vraiment pas te dire parce que je. Arrête! Non, 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 tu vois. Arrête. Ça.
Ah, je suis trop baissé.
Ouais.
Enlève-moi mes droits.
Bah ça s'appelle GeForce Experience.
Non, mais j'ai pas GeForce, j'ai un truc pour le mien. Et j'avais une pareille comme touche, tu vois.
Ah, tu le feras ça plus tard, ok?
Bon,
T'entends?
allez, vas-y.
C'est bon, t'entends?
Oui.
C'est en anglais. Donc. Hey, hey, hey.
Quoi le jeu encore?
Stanley
C'est Road.
Parable.
C'est Parabellum.
Non, non, c'est pas ce jeu du démon.
Stanley Parable.
Non, te spoil pas, te spoil pas. Allez, allez, tu
Non,
spoil.
mais je mets la croix dedans.
Ah. On n'a même pas encore fini que tu mets une croix.
Ouais, comme ça on n'oublie pas. Ah, c'est toi qui l'as mis. C'est un jeu de quoi encore?
Ah, commence pas. T'as vu, on voit là. Ça fait un effet bizarre, hein.
Oui.
Ah, ça me perturbe le cerveau, hein. Ah. Je sais plus s'il y aura des sous-titres, mais on verra bien.
Ah,
Ah, ah,
il m'a
ah.
l'air un peu chelou là.
Clique
This
tout
is
ce
the
qui...
story of a man named Stanley.
T'as clic?
Stanley worked
Chut,
for a company in a
écoute.
big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what Employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from...
Je crois pas qu'il y a de sous-titres. Mais de toute façon, on
Bah ouais,
comprend.
ça va.
Ouais, il parle pas bien. Oh, je m'entends en écho. Oh non.
Ah, c'est un nouveau mode, ça. C'est tout. Depuis quoi toi, t'as ton écho?
J'ai toujours entendu parfois en écho. C'est bon. C'est passé. Je te jure, c'est complètement aléatoire. Y a pas, on est
Attends,
d'accord.
2 secondes. Faut que je diminue ta voix vu que je dois compter le jeu.
Quoi?
Non, j'ai diminué ta voix. Puis j'ai augmenté le son
Ah.
du jeu.
Ah.
Pas de partage.
On est d'accord, y a pas de sous-titres. C'est juste qu'on va parler en même temps, donc...
Mm.
Save. Enable save. Ce serait dommage de tout recommencer. T'as vu, ils ont failli me douiller. Keyboard. De toute façon, il parle bien, mais tu sais, c'est sûr qu'on... Même si ça avait été un mec qui parle en français, j'aurais mis, parce que on parle en même temps. MP.
his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, je me souviens. Oh, j'ai des souvenirs qui repop.
T'as joué?
Ouais, mais il y a trop longtemps. Là, si je bouge pas, l'autre il va te haggar. Il va... Bref, tu vas voir.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Attends,
Tu commences à comprendre.
est-ce que la voix elle fait en fonction de ce que tu fais?
Voilà, je voulais pas te le dire. C'est pour ça que j'ai tapé tout. Tu commences à comprendre. C'est pour ça que j'ai dit, si tu bouges pas, il commence à te haggar. T'as compris ou pas? Parce que il fait en fonction de ce que... Si je bouge pas, il va dire, mais il va commencer à bouger, ce fils de pute. C'est ça qui est
No
drôle.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Mais j'ai tout oublié. Genre, je me souviens juste que il y avait une arnaque dans ce jeu.
Je
When
sais pas si c'est un
Stanley
son
came
qui est
to a
trop
set
élevé,
of
mais
two
on
open
va retourner
doors,
ça dans la tête.
he
Ta
entered
gueule!
the...
Quand il parle, on se tait. Parce que l'histoire, ça tourne autour de lui. Vas-y, dis ce que tu voulais dire.
Non, non, c'est vrai, j'ai déjà dit.
Allez, ça, il est fier. Hein. Il est
Non,
fier.
je dis, peut-être c'est censé être trop élevé parce que quand tu tournes trop là, ça fait mal à la tête, frère.
Non, mais juste, je marche vraiment. Je marchais vraiment.
Non, mais vas-y, vas-y, m'il plaît. T'inquiète, c'est
door
pas
on
grave.
his left.
Voilà. Voilà. T'es content, hein? Tu parles en même temps et tu sais même pas.
90, he have left.
Il a dit, il faut qu'il aille à gauche.
Ah, left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
T'as des
well.
right là.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
On est vraiment des bras cassés et la voix off, elle essaye de se sortir.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Tu peux même pas boire un peu?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
C'est bon, c'est bon. Je suis
But
désolé.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Je vais à gauche ou tout droit?
Rentre, rentre.
Là?
Ouais.
Ou là?
Non, derrière, derrière.
J'ai pas compris.
Derrière.
Derrière?
Allez, rentre, vas-y, va où tu veux.
Oh, il va trop nous haggar. Allez, allez.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie if you're lying right now. Stop! Bouge plus, bon. Bouge plus. Do not jump from the cargo.
Allez, fais ça.
Penalty for measure cargo lift. Penalty for jumping of the cargo lift.
Look,
Yes.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
T'es content, hein?
Parfois, la voix elle bug pour moi, c'est pour ça que je ne pas tout de suite quand elle parle.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Gauche ou droite?
When Stanley came
gauche.
to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
Moi j'ai
lounge
envie d'aller
first,
jusqu'au bout.
just to admire it.
On reprend le même chemin qu'on a fait.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took
prend
the
le même chemin ou
first
pas?
open door on his left.
Non, non, voilà.
Ouais, on prend le même chemin du coup.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Ça par contre, je t'ai dit, hein, moi je le refais tout. C'est au pif, hein. Crois pas que tout ce que je te fais est scénarisé, mec. Hein. T'as entendu?
Ouais, ouais.
Genre j'ai fait un long temps, c'est juste que là je me suis dit, oh tiens, c'est tout. Danger partout.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Moi j'ai envie de l'écouter cette fois-ci, il m'a fait de la peine.
Vas-y.
Mais si tu veux aller jusqu'au bout, on peut, hein. Mais on peut l'écouter.
Je sais pas, je sais pas. Je laisse le choix. Vas-y, le rouge.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Non mais par contre il nous a arnaqué en fait.
Mm.
Et je lui fais plus jamais confiance moi.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
C'est le bureau là-bas.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going?
Pas un peu, juste pour voir, il fait quoi.
Right. Where were we?
On va pas rester 8 ans hein, non plus.
Reviens après.
C'est bon, il dit plus rien.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Faut pas que je meure. Ah ouais mec, tu m'entends?
Ah.
Ok.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Ah, faut juste que je me suicide?
Ah, c'est pour recommencer le jeu.
Don't take this from me. Bah... Il nous a niqué.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
En vrai, il nous a niqué, non? Avec la porte. Allez hop.
No! Oh, thank God. No. No, no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go
Vas-y,
back to the...
saute dans le
Chut,
vide là-bas.
Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what
on va te donner une règle à toi. Hein. Quand il parle, tu te tais.
J'entends pas quand il parle au début. Il y a une pause, c'est pour ça que je commence à parler.
Ah bah, tu te tais.
I'm talking about.
Saute.
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Mais... Il veut vraiment qu'on... Je peux même pas.
No, perhaps not. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
Il fait de la
Well, this
peine.
one is yours.
Oh.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
The end is near.
Il m'a fait de la peine.
En vrai, ouais.
All of his co-workers were
Mais il nous a un
gone.
peu baisé quand même
What
avec
did
la
it
porte
mean?
rouge.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Donc moi je
Perhaps
décide
he
qu'on
had simply
reva à la
missed the
porte
memo.
bleue. Est-ce que tu es d'accord?
Oui.
Porte bleue.
When Stanley
On va
came
pas
to a set of
l'écouter
two
jusqu'au
open,
bout.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something
Sa voix est
bad
trop
to
bien.
happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
T'es ouf?
Ouf.
C'est un putain de fou furieux.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Putain.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option.
En fait, c'est le développeur qui parle.
Pense.
Bah, parce que quand on est rentré, il a dit regarde, j'ai même pas fini
On est
cette
dans son
section.
jeu.
Il a dit j'ai même pas fini la section. J'ai même pas fini cette zone de terrain. Il y a encore les textures packs de base. Tu vois?
Hmm.
Avec un moyen qu'en fait c'est le dev qui parle. Et que là il est en train de tester son jeu, tu sais. Et du coup il dit ok, toi tu vas là, toi tu vas là. Je vais relancer, c'est bon?
Non, non, non.
Tu veux dire?
On va passer par une autre porte là. Ah oui, oui, oui.
Ouais, bah on va pas l'écouter jusqu'au bout, non?
Non, non, mais oui.
Ok.
This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
On l'écoute ou pas?
Vas-y.
On l'écoute?
Hmm.
Je sens qu'il...
Non, ça, on est déjà parti.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Euh... On lui fout la haine?
Non, on est gentil.
5.
Allez, ah.
Allez.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ah.
Il a juste mis... Il a juste mis des stats. Ah le bâtard. Ah non, c'est était correct though. La haine sur les portes. C'est vrai que c'est que des portes. On y reva?
Ouais.
Ouais, je pense que celui-là, ça va juste...
Attends, on n'a pas fini celui-là, celui du milieu.
Bah, on finit celui-là.
Ah.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Ouais, ça nous a bien aidé, non?
Ah.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the
N'appuie
game
pas.
only becomes clear
Que non.
once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Faut qu'on y joue 4 heures avec un bébé qui crie en plus.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the